Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you my predictions for the Everton Manchester United game, which is tomorrow at Goodison Park, 2 o'clock kickoff. I've already of course given you my preview for the game. Also a bit later on in the video I am going to be giving you Manchester United's top 10 best players of this week, but that will be I'll delve into that a bit later on in the video. So, in this game against Everton, I am going to predict a Manchester United win, and I am going to predict a 2-1 win for Manchester United. I think, Bruno Fernandes will score because he's in good form at the moment, and I also believe Odion Ighalo will score. He'll probably, more than likely be making his first uh, his full Premier League debut tomorrow for the football club. So I do believe Manchester United are going to win against Everton by 2-1. I think, the game will be totally comparison to last season's game. Obviously, last season it was 4-0 to Everton. That's one of the worst defeats we've had under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And don't forget, after that game, Solskjaer had come out and apologised. So I did give Solskjaer a lot of credit for doing that. But yeah, it was a very, very bad defeat. But last season, of course, look who we had. We had Smalling, we had Phil Jones, we had Romelu Lukaku. Of course, Lukaku and Smalling have both left the football club. Phil Jones is still here. Obviously, we lost to Everton under the Louis van Gaal era by 3-0. We also lost to them 2-0 under David Moyes at Goodison Park. So we have been beaten there quite a few times. I think Everton have won 4 of their last 7 Premier League home games against us. We did actually, beat them under the Jose Mourinho era. But I do believe Manchester United are going to win because we are in a good run of form at the moment. We are unbeaten in our last 7 games in all competitions. So I think our last defeat was at home to Burnley. You do remember when we did lose to Burnley by 2-0. But we beat Everton tomorrow. It will be, our 3rd win on the trot in the Premier League, and that will be for the first time this season. The top 4 race now is wide open. Of course, Chelsea dropping points today against Bournemouth. Leicester losing to Norwich yesterday. So there's now a lot of teams in that top 4 race. Of course, we now sit around 4 points behind Chelsea, reflecting on their draw today. I think we are around 5 points in front of Everton, but this will be a very, very difficult game against Everton. Because Everton, have got a lot of good attacking players like I mentioned. They've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they've got Richie Arledson, they've got Bernard, they've got Theo Walcott. He's a former Arsenal player. I think Walcott's been out with injury. They've also got Lucas Digne, who's a very, very good fullback, but I think he's also been out with injury. They've got Yerry Mina, who's a good centre-half. They've got quite a few former Manchester United players. They've got Schneiderlin. Has he recently been injured, if I'm right? They've also got Michael Keane in their team. They've got Sigurdsson. He hasn't been, great this season, Sigurdsson. But, when he was at Swansea, he had a good goal-scoring record against Manchester United. So, yeah, they've got Sigurdsson. Andrea Gomez, since he come back from injury, he's also done really, really well. So, this is a tester for Manchester United tomorrow, definitely. But we have got games coming up thick and fast. After Everton, we go home to Manchester City. Then obviously after Manchester City, we do go away to Tottenham. So more than likely we are going to drop points at least in one of them games. But if we beat Everton, I think, Manchester United can definitely finish in the top 4 this season. But Everton do look a much better team, to be fair, under Carlo Ancelotti. He seems to have galvanised the team. Carlo Ancelotti is one of the most decorated managers of all time. He's one of the most decorated managers of all time. He's got a good pedigree. He's won a lot of trophies. I think he's won around 15 major honours as Carlo Ancelotti so far during his managerial career. And it'll be interesting to see how he approaches the summer at Everton. Don't forget he's got like a 4.5-year deal. And I probably think he will see out, at least his 4.5-year deal. Then when he does eventually leave Everton, I don't know. Will he go back to Italy? Will he go to Spain? Will he go to Germany? I don't know, but he is a very, very good manager. Everton are on their 3rd manager this season. Of course, before they had Ancelotti, they had Duncan Ferguson. Obviously, before they had him, they had Marco Silva, but of course he got sacked last year from Everton. I think Everton Football Club did make one mistake, and that was getting rid of Roberto Martinez, because I thought he did very, very well for them. Don't forget they had Ronald Koeman, Sam Allardyce, David Moyes enjoyed around 10 or 11 years with Everton. But, yeah, they are a very, very good side. And, we have recruited quite a few players from Everton, before. We got Lukaku from them, for £75 million. Obviously, he's no longer now at Man United. Of course, we've got Wayne Rooney from them back in 2004. He enjoyed 13 years at the football club. But, I'm very, very convinced that Manchester United are going to win this game against Everton. Definitely on that, because we are in a good run of form right now. So, I'll give you some news, didn't I? Building up to the game and that, we know that Man United have still got quite a few injuries. Wait there a minute. Man United have still got quite a few injuries and that. Let's wait there, I need to do something. Man United have still got quite a few injuries. Obviously, the latest player to be out with injury is Anthony Martial. Now, Anthony Martial has sustained a thigh injury whilst he was in training, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had confirmed. He's out with injuries, Anthony Martial, so he could be a doubt for tomorrow's game. I don't know how severe the injury is. Martial sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player, but, he wasn't involved in the Club Brugge game on Thursday. Was Anthony Martial. So hopefully his injury is not too severe. Martial now is into his 5th season at Manchester United. Obviously I think he's on 15 goals this season. He's recently rejuvenated himself. I think he's made over 200 appearances for the club in all competitions and scored 60 odd goals. A lot of people are saying, we should revert Anthony Martial back to the left-hand side because that's his predominant position. But he has been playing in that number 9 role so far this season. So hopefully his injury is not too severe. We know Rashford's not going to be involved in the game. Solskjaer did confirm, Rashford could be out for the rest of the season. Could even miss the Euros, Rashford. But, he is a big miss. But obviously, we've got Odi Nagalo. That's a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. So he's obviously, definitely out. Of course, the positive is, though, that McTominay's now back. He's just come back from a knee injury, McTominay. And we look much better in that midfield, with McTominay, and that, because, he's enjoyed a really, really good season, Scott McTominay, to be fair, but he's now back. Bay's just recently come back, and I think since he's come back, he's made an impact. Fosu-Mensah to Anzebe, they're close to a reserve game, or behind closed doors, like Solskjaer recently mentioned, but they are stepping up their fitness regime. Obviously, we know that Lee Grant's a long-term absence. Paul Pogba, the earliest we are looking at Paul Pogba being back is for the Manchester derby. Probably more likely he will be involved in the game against Tottenham with Paul Pogba. Solskjaer did say his return is not imminent, but Pogba did say that, he's close to returning for Manchester United. But Solskjaer said the other week he may not play for the football club again, but he will play for the club again before he leaves in the summer. He's looking very, very likely that Paul Pogba will be on his way out of the football club in the summer, and I think he'll either go to Real Madrid. If he doesn't go to Real Madrid, he will make a return back to Turin, because Pogba did enjoy 4 good years in Turin. But, since he rejoined the club back in 2016, the vast majority of his performances have been totally comparison. So he has been actually, a huge disappointment. He only hasn't played much this season due to injuries. He's only played around 8 games this season as Paul Pogba. I think the last time he started a game was September, but overall the last time he played was on Boxing Day. And we do know that Paul Pogba's agent Mini Raiola has been talking in the past couple of weeks, regarding his client, and like the likes of Gary Neville and Solskjaer have been very, very critical of him. But yeah, he'll be on his way out in the summer. We've quoted out that we want 150 million for Pogba. Real Madrid come out the other week and said, they only value him at £50 million. So that's 3 times less than what we paid for him. And, we won't sell him for £50 million. And obviously it's £39 million less than what we paid for him, because we paid £89 million for him. He's now into the final year of his contract. Man United do have an option to extend his contract by a further year. But, we get rid of Pogba, looking at it from a financial point of view, will generate a lot of money for his departure, and it'll help us with our rebuilding process. I don't think we need Paul Pogba now anyway, reflecting on how good, Bruno Fernandes has done, and reflecting on, McTominay, how good he's been. Matic has been really, really good recently. You know, Fred's rejuvenated himself. Bruno Fernandes is doing well, and even if when Pogba would be back, you know, he probably wouldn't get in the team now anywhere. He'd be probably, you know, benched, to be quite honest with you. So some people will believe now that we actually, you know, look better without Paul Pogba. You know, I think we made a mistake by getting rid of him under Ferguson, because obviously, you know, he only made a couple of first team appearances under Ferguson, but we let him go then on a free transfer, and then 4 years later we bought him for £89 million. You know, he had bad disputes with Jose Mourinho, did Paul Pogba, but he's definitely on his way out of the football club in the summer. But recently, you know, we have done really, really well, and I'm very, very delighted about that. Very, very delighted about that. So now we'll delve into, you know, what players I think have been good for Manchester United this week, the top 10. Now, definitely, you know, Bruno Fernandes is in there. Bruno Fernandes has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. You know, he's already scored 2 goals for the football club. Is it like in 4 appearances in all competitions? You know, he's also provided 2 assists as Bruno Fernandes. And, you know, he's making the difference in the team. He's very instrumental. His decision making's good. His passing good. And he's helping our midfield out. And I'd probably say Bruno Fernandes makes Nemanja Matic look a lot quicker, because we know overall Nemanja Matic is a very, very slow player. But Bruno Fernandes is definitely making the difference. We paid £68 million for him. You know, so he's like our 4th most expensive signing. And, you know, he did sign a 5.5-year deal, did Bruno Fernandes. But I'm very, very delighted that we got him in on the board, Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, very, very good player indeed. So he's in that top 10. Now, Anthony Martial's also there. I know he didn't play against Club Brugge, but prior to the game against Club Brugge, he'd scored 3 times in his last 3 games. You know, Martial has really rejuvenated himself. Like I mentioned, he has sustained quite a few injuries, but he's still done really, really well as Anthony Martial. And I would probably, you know, still be determined to keep him at the football club. So he's there. Odion Ighalo, now he's also done really, really well. Obviously, you know, it was good to see him score on his full debut against Club Brugge. You know, that was his full debut for the football club. And like I mentioned, he's a good cover-up to Marcus Rashford. I think he will be able to assure us goals, will Odion Ighalo. I probably can't see us making his transfer permanent unless, you know, he really hits the ground running, or we get any more injuries to our attacking players. Then possibly then we could make his deal permanent. But he's an option of a different type of striker, you know, like Solskjaer is recently saying. So yeah, Ighalo's done absolutely no sensational. So he's definitely now in that list right there. Now, another one, Luke Shaw. Now, I've also been very, very impressed with Luke Shaw. Now, I think since he's come back from injury, because don't forget Luke Shaw was out with injury for around 2 months, he has done really, really well. Even though we do see Brandon Williams now as our first choice left back, but we'll obviously go with Shaw on the experience, because Brandon Williams is inexperienced at the moment. It's only his first season in the senior squad. You know, Luke Shaw, you know, did reveal out that he does like playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's guidance. Wasn't so good for him under Mourinho, because he had bad disputes with Mourinho. But a lot of the top players had disputes with Jose Mourinho and that. Luke Shaw, I think it's now into his, 5th, 6th season with the club. So he's been a long-serving player. Has sustained a lot of injuries as a Manchester United player, has Luke Shaw. But, you know, don't forget last season he won the double player of the season, reflecting on his good run of performances. But yeah, you know, I've been very, very impressed with him. I think he's revealed his ambition, and his ambition is to play in a final, because I don't think he's yet played in a final as a Manchester United player, if I'm right. And we've been involved in like 4 finals since he come in, but, you know, he hasn't participated in any of them as Luke Shaw. But yeah, very, very good left back is Luke Shaw, to be fair. But like I mentioned, he is injury prone. Mason Greenwood, now he's also in that top 10. You know, he's done really, really well as Mason Greenwood. You know, 5 goals now this season in the Premier League, 11 goals in all competitions in 20-odd first-team appearances. You know, Solskjaer did still say, though, Mason Greenwood has got a lot to learn. You know, I think as he continues developing more, maybe then he will become our complete number 9, Will Greenwood. But, you know, he can't just play as number 9. You know, he's also an option on that right-hand side. You know, you can't say he's on Rashford's level yet. Probably even in on, you know, Martial's level as yet, but very, very, you know, good player is Mason Greenwood. But again, it's only his first season in the senior squad. It was good to see him score against Watford. You know, he got a rare start because he seldom starts in the Premier League, but he did also come on in the game against Club Brugge. So I've also been very, very impressed with him. Fred, he's also done very, very well. He's in that top 10. Fred has done well when he's played alongside Matic, to be honest with you. But from my perception, I prefer Fred to play alongside McTominay because I think they're blending well together. You know, some people's, you know, preference would be Matic over Scott McTominay. But, you know, Fred has done really, really well, let's be honest. He did really, really well in Ukraine when he was at Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, he still hasn't emulated that level as yet. Still needs time, does Fred. But, you know, let's be honest, under Jose Mourinho, Fred never really got his opportunities. You know, it was good to see Fred score, you know, twice in the game against Brugge. That was his first 2 goals for the club in 17 months. So I've also been very, very impressed with him. Harry Maguire, he's also in that top 10. He's done absolutely fantastic for the football club since his arrival from Leicester last summer. You know, Maguire's done really, really well. He's had a couple of bad games for Man United, but recently has done well. It was good to see him score his first Premier League goal for the club against Chelsea. I do agree on the aspect Manchester United overpaid for him because we paid £80 million for Harry Maguire. You know, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world and he's the second most expensive signing at the club. But he's addressed our defensive deficiencies and I think, you know, Lindelof and him have blended in very, very well together at the back. But, you know, I've been so impressed with Harry Maguire and I think the club did make the right decision by giving Harry Maguire the captaincy on a permanent basis. So, yeah, I've also been very, very impressed with him. Like I mentioned, Scott McTominay's done well. Matic has done really, really well recently. So, yeah, they are my top 10 players who I think's done really, really well. You know, De Gea's done quite well recently. So, that's the latest on that. You know, obviously, you know, Manchester United are making plans for the summer transfer window, you know, because we do know that furthermore investment is needed in the squad. You know, so far since Solskjaer's come in, he's recommended 5 new players in and he's spent just over £220 million on them. And Solskjaer has now been at the football club for around 14 months, so he has been here over a year as Solskjaer. You know, he knows Solskjaer, if he is to be given another season at Manchester United, that he's got many expectations to exceed because this is his first full season at the moment. From Solskjaer's perception, he believes if he's given the right amount of time that he's demanding, that he can maybe emulate into the next year and Klopp, because Klopp wasn't good straight away. You know, to be quite honest with you, I don't see him emulating into the next year and Klopp. I also can definitely assure he won't invoke Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United, but maybe he does deserve another season at the football club because don't forget it is a transition period and like Solskjaer said, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. He did reveal this at the beginning of the year, but it's just amazing how we can still finish in the top 4 because we've enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season ever. And, you know, it just proves then basically, doesn't it, you know, how poor a lot of the teams have been in the Premier League this season. But we do need that top 4. Even though 5th place is now a Champions League spot, reflecting on Manchester City's ban from the Champions League for the next 2 seasons. You know, so take that into account. But I'd love us, obviously, you know, to finish in that top 4 and that. But, you know, there's people that are backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, like I mentioned to you earlier on, Nemanja Matic was coming out and, you know, he gave his verdict on Solskjaer and he believes from his own perception that Solskjaer is improving as Manchester United manager, you know, because he's gaining more experience whilst he's on the job. So this is what Matic had basically said. He's not the only one backing Solskjaer. Maybe there's still some Man United fans that are willing to back him. Also, too, you know, you had David Beckham coming out earlier on in the week, you know, saying he's, you know, done a good job at Man United. He's, you know, learned from Alex Ferguson. You know, he's learned from Alex Ferguson. That was, you know, Beckham's perception on that. So, yeah. So there's still people backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, obviously Ed Woodward is backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, because Ed Woodward did say he is determined to back him, despite of how poor we've been for the vast majority of this season, and despite, you know, our revenue dropping around £70 million and 627 million. Of course, Solskjaer did admit if we fail to get Champions League again, Manchester United will suffer. Because taking into account we get European football for next season, yeah, I think we'll have a competitive summer transfer window. We'll get the right calibre players that we want in. Plus, we'll generate more money into the club, and think overall the resources of the football club will be better if we do get European football, to be quite honest with you. But we will lose money, if we fail to qualify for Europe. But I'm very convinced Manchester United can do it. Definitely very convinced that we can do it, to be quite honest with you. I still don't think Solskjaer's a long-term solution for the club. My main explanations for that is because he's too inexperienced as a manager. He's been tactically inept for the vast majority of this season. Maybe in some games he's got it correct. And I just feel as though the strappings of the club are too big for him. Even though he knows the club very, very well. I thought Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. But I just think as a manager, he's totally, comparison. And like I've mentioned to you, we've had a lot of good players up and down the generations. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're one of the biggest clubs in the world with a fantastic history, with a fantastic fan base. We're the most successful club in England, 20 titles and that. So we are still one of the biggest clubs in the world. Obviously, one of the club's greatest achievements was from 1999 and that. But hopefully, what Solskjaer's trying to do is he's trying to build a team worthy of the club's history. So he's trying to build a team, that hopefully can replicate what the team did under Alex Ferguson and that. But, taking into account, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the club. But, he was given the right amount of time. Look what he went and accomplished after not winning out in his first 4 years. One of the best, managers, of the game was Sir Alex Ferguson and that. And, Man United are not really known for a sacking football club, despite the fact that we've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era. Obviously, we got rid of David Moyes after he enjoyed, 8 or 9 months at the club. He enjoyed the shortest tenure with the club. Ferguson was at fault for ever recommending him in. That's the only mistake he made though. The main explanation why I recommended Moyes in is because they was both Scottish, but he should have never given it to Moyes. At that point, he should have, recommended Jose Mourinho in, when of course Jose Mourinho hadn't passed his sell-by date, but I think now he has passed his sell-by date. Under Moyes, I think we finished 7th. I think that's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. He spent a good 67 million. That wasn't much over, is it really? Let's be honest. He brought Fellaini in. He obviously, brought Juan Mata in. Juan Mata's still here now. Then Louis van Gaal didn't work out under him. Obviously, he was much more proven than Moyes. So too was Mourinho, but it didn't work out. We did win the FA Cup under the Louis van Gaal era. He spent a good £200 million. He brought a lot of players in. He also got rid of a lot of players, did Louis van Gaal. He brought Depay in, Schneiderlin, Schweinsteiger, Blind, Falcao, Di Maria. They're all the players that, Louis van Gaal did bring in. Then got Mourinho in. He enjoyed a 2.5 year tenure at the club. He spent a good 400 million or just under 400 million pounds on 11 players. And the vast majority of his team now is Jose Mourinho's. But I already give you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Mourinho. Tactically naive. It was part of the bus football. But Mourinho did win the Europa League in the League Cup in his first season, plus got a second in his first season at the football club and that. So Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. And I think if we do decide to sack him, our next manager will either be Mauricio Pochettino or Massimiliano Allegri. Because, there's been talks of then, one of them becoming Manchester United's next manager and that. But maybe we could give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer another season. Then obviously if it doesn't work out, then obviously, we will get rid of him. So maybe he does deserve at least 1 more, maybe 2 more windows to get everything right. Definitely. Because there's still deficiencies in the squad that need to be addressed. But, I've got to credit him recently. He's got it right. We've been in a good run of form recently. That win against Club Brugge was one of the biggest wins we've had under Solskjaer. The biggest win, I think, was 6-0 against Tranmere. That was our biggest win away from home since 1999 when we did beat Nottingham Forest. But it was a good performance against Club Brugge, like I mentioned. Very, very good performance. It was also a very, very good performance against Watford. So we just need to continue now beating lower opposition because we've struggled against lower opposition this season, but look at it on the other hand, against elite opposition, we've had some really, really good results. So we just need to do that against lower opposition. And maybe next season we can challenge for the league if we can get the right players in the summer. It's just dependent on, who we can get in. Obviously, there's players that are going to be leaving Man United in the summer. I expect players to leave in the summer, definitely. I think around 4 or 5 players will go in the summer. A lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. I think around 9 senior players have left the football club. Obviously a lot of United fans have got doubts about the club's ownership. They've got doubts about, about Ed Woodward and that. So take that into account and that. But yeah, like I mentioned, there's a lot of players on our agenda. There's Sancho on our agenda, like I updated this morning. Duncan Castle said now we are emerged as the favourites to get Sancho on the board. Obviously, Jack Grealish, he's our number one priority target for the summer. James Maddison's been on our agenda. Federico Chiesa from Fiorentina. We've recently expressed an interest in him. So yeah, and Solskjaer believes we have improved in 4 areas, but I think the positions we need to strengthen up in now, I think we need a right winger, we need at least one striker, we need at least one midfielder, we probably need a centre half, and then we can use Lindelof as a cover-up. We possibly need a left back, but we've got to make more signings in the summer and that. But yeah. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care, God bless, and Man United, like I mentioned to you yesterday before I go, are in the last 16 now of the Europa League, and we do play last. And we also have got Derby coming up in the FA Cup. That's another chance of us getting some silverware on the board. So yeah, guys, I'm going now. Take care, God bless. See you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.